Hey guys, I'm recording this from my house in the basement. So I get that it probably looks a little bit like I have some hospital lights on me, and I apologize for that. It's just the way it is. So, yeah, let's talk about. We're going on to the next section called Elements of Weather Notes. So we're going to start off by really taking a good look at weather maps. And so this first part here, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to write down, it says take a few minutes and study the classic weather map that we pulled off the Weather Channel website. Identify as many weather map symbols as you can from the map and make a guess on what you think each symbol means. So you can look up some of these symbols and like take a picture and pop them in here, but really you're just looking and you're identifying like, oh, there's these big blue H's. What do those probably mean? Big red L's. What could those mean? Look at this big blue line with triangles on it, or this red one with like half circles on it. What are these white squiggly lines all over? What could those be? What about this green stuff right here? What does that mean? So I think you'll be surprised by how much you actually do know. But we are going to, in class, we're going to talk about these and see what you guys come up with. And so if you're watching this like on your own, I'm not going to go over this because we are going to talk about some of this stuff as we go through the course. But I just want to let you know that if you are watching this while I'm doing it online as well, because maybe your internet doesn't work as well with Google Meet, that's fine. Just know that you might hop on the Google Meet again, and we might still be doing notes because we'll be talking a little more in depth about what you guys came up with. Okay, so the first part of this is going to be focusing on temperatures, because that I feel like everyone kind of understands, air masses, and fronts. Okay, so making a weather map. Let's highlight some stuff. Weather data is recorded at thousands of stations, so that's where they record the data, often at commercial airports throughout the United States and the rest of the world. These stations record data such as temperature, dew point, cloud cover, visibility, height of the cloud, amount of precipitation, and wind speed and wind direction. So those are good things to take note of. So all this information is recorded all across the world. Patterns in surface temperatures. So we're going to look at maps, and what you'll see is there's regional patterns in surface air temperature and can be identified on a weather map. So the first thing we're going to talk about, the first kind of information that we're going to look at is isotherms. Okay. Isotherms are lines of equal temperature. Stop it. Equal temperature. Okay. And they're drawn to identify air masses and front boundaries. So you can see here we have like lighter blue or darker blue, then lighter blue, then like a light green, then a dark green, then a darker or a lighter green, and then a yellow, then a orange. Whew, it's almost my bedtime. And this helps us see, you can really see on this, that these blues are probably super cold air. That would be one air mass. And then the reds would be super hot air. So drawing these lines and kind of, these maps have them kind of color coded, help out a lot when it comes to figuring out where's the cold air, where's the warm air, because where those meet, that's where you're going to get trouble. Okay. Isotherm maps like the one shown above are typically drawn at 10-degree intervals. So each line, you can see from each of the key that it goes up by 10. So the from the dark blue is going to be 0 to 10. The little bit lighter blue is from 10 to 20. The super light is 20 to 30. So it goes up by 10 degrees. These air temperature patterns show where different air masses and fronts are found. So let's highlight that. Show where different air masses and fronts are found. Air mass. It's a large body of air with the same temperature and moisture content. So if we look at this hot air right here, that all has probably the same-ish temperature, so it'll all be warm. And it could be coming off the coast here, so it would probably be a little more humid. There's more moisture in this air. This air right here, this cold air, all is about the same temperature, and it looks like it's coming down from the north, so it's probably drier because there's not ocean right there. There's land right there, okay? Another vocab, front, is a location where two or more air masses meet. So 2 or more air masses meet. That's where we get a front. I could look at both of these maps and you should be able to too. This one's really, really good. So it's cold right here, it's warm right here, and you can see it changes temperature really fast in the middle here. This area right here is definitely a front. Okay. Now, we do name our air masses. So when describing an air mass, let's change that. Meteorologists use the term continental, maritime, polar, Arctic, and tropical. Okay. So, use the key below to label each air mass with temperature and humidity. So the Arctic air we know is very, very cold. Polar air is just regular cold, I guess. Tropical is warm. So for each one of these little chunks of air, we're going to decide, is it cold, super cold, or warm air? And we're going to put a little clarifier there. Another part of the air mass, we said that an air mass is named by its temperature and its humidity. So we have to talk about, is it dry? Did it form over land? Or is it humid because it formed over the water? Okay, so it says here, hurricanes forming near the equator in the Atlantic Ocean probably form what type of air mass? So they form near the equator, so they would be warmer. So if we look at our options, it would be a tropical, and then the other part is it formed over the Atlantic Ocean, formed over water. So it would be a tropical maritime air mass. You kind of just take one of these, pop them together. All right, so I would pause here and see if you could figure this thing out by yourself. Go ahead and pause and figure this out. For real, pause it. Just kidding. I really hope that you paused it. Anyway, so you're just going to grab one of these. Let's make sure that you're not using like the cursor that actually makes you write, but the grabber where it has like 4 arrows pointing out one way. Come on. This could get annoying. We'll see. All right, so I'm going to drag this. I know that the red, oh my goodness, this needs to be, what? Did I not grab it? Maybe I didn't grab it. Come on. Okay, this whole thing needs to go to the back. Order, send it back. Okay, that's better. So I'm going to take both of these and put them right there. probably should have another one too. Control C, Control V. Sorry you guys are experiencing this while we're learning. So right here, this orange is also tropical. It's all warm. I can also go through and say, all right, this is Arctic or very cold. And then polar, just regular cold, like it's still cold, but it's not like super cold, is going to be a part of these. All right. So I have my temperature already named. Now we need to figure out which ones are dry and which ones are considered humid. So if I grab one of these maritimes, I know that this is over the ocean right now, and it'll move into the land there. So this is a maritime polar air mass. I can look for another one. Oh, hey. This also is over the ocean. The blue is the ocean, by the way. So I'm just going to snatch that and put that over here. Bam. This also, you can see, is over the ocean. So maritime tropical coming right up. And then this would also be maritime tropical. Okay. Then this guy, this Arctic air, is very dry because it's forming over land. There's not a huge ocean over it. So this would be continental Arctic. And this right here would also be continental tropical, or CP. We abbreviate that. So that is how you would fill that out. And now we have the names all in the right place. Okay. As for fronts, we know that a location where 2 or more air masses meet, that's, I guess, the main part you need to know right here. We'll have to figure that out as we go. All right. Have an awesome day.